occasion as well. Referee is Gavin Finnegan from the Unrea Club in County Down, and he gets us underway, puts it up into the middle. It's touched down by Kate McDade, and Lauren McGee now has us to Dublin playing into the wind, but they will head off into the attack, and off camera I can see 3-4 Dublin or Cavan girls running back into position. That's what they're going to try and do to frustrate Dublin, but Kate Sullivan slips it over to McDade, and I heard a whistle there, but it was actually quite hard to hear it in the wind here, but there was a whistle there, so there must have been a foul there, and they've brought it back. So free for Dublin, and already in the first 30 seconds or so you can see that Cavan have drifted back into defence there. Plenty of players in position. That's what they're going to try and do. This is a bit of a tough ask for Carla Rowe, but if she's ever going to have fire in her boots, it's going to be today, captaining Dublin on her home pitch for the first time ever in a senior championship game. So can she make it here, or will it drop short? She takes a yard or two in, gets a good connection, and hits the post, and it's punched away by Erin Longair. Didn't even bother trying to catch it there, just get that ball out of here. And now they're scrapping for possession. Referee's very close to it, and he's made a decision there possibly for a hot ball. It is indeed a hot ball, but yes, Carla Rowe very, very close there. It came off the post, judged it quite well, going for the near post. That was the clever thing, and quite low trajectory as well, but just didn't quite make it. So Gavin Finnegan ready to throw it up, and it's windy down there, but it's picked up a bit up here, so if he throws this up, the ball might actually end up down the other side without anybody touching it if he throws it high enough. So they go in for a little bit of pushing there by McDade, but she got away with it, and Tyrrell profits and swivels and puts it straight over the bar, and that is the first point of the game for Dublin, and they've made the start that we expected. They've 33 All-Star Awards Dublin out on the pitch there. And that's the second time Dublin have misjudged this, and Cavan are getting in behind and profiting from a good long kick out. Now Goldrick's trying to get back, but Gilson in is there, and Goldrick fouls, and indeed that is given, and the referee makes that known, and he's making a tick as well there against Goldrick. They've been caught out by that kick out in the wind a couple of times.
Twice, and the wind is slightly, it is swirling a little bit, but not too much, so it might be that they drop somebody just back into that pocket here on the right hand side.
Yeah, they're certainly dropping players back, but it's the judgment when the ball comes out from the kick. They're trying to get in and win it rather than just waiting to see what happens. And Cavan might benefit here if she can use this wind perfectly, which is easier said than done. She's got the distance and put it over, and she did use it absolutely perfectly. And that is Aisling Gilson, and all really came from the kick out. But now it's a kick out for Dublin, and the referee says he wants Ciara Trant to take that one again. He tried to find Lindsay Davey, and Ciara Trant's not quite sure what the problem is, but she has been made to take it again. But yeah, clever play by Cavan all round.
Absolutely, yeah, it's a good start by Cavan, and it's an excellent score, using the wind really, really well.
Now Ciara Trant will have to go short, and does go short. Cavan trying to put on a press in there, but it's easier said than done, and Dublin trying to get it. You see the difficulty with the wind there. They're trying to get it through the hands, but that ball just went a little bit awry. This is Leah Caffrey to Goldrick. 3 All-Stars to 7 All-Stars. This is number 10, Kiva O'Connor from Clontarf, and she's looking for Sinead Ahern down the right, but actually goes on her own on a run and is fouled. And that was Mona Sheridan fouling her, and I think she's getting ticked now, and Kiva is down injured as well. But good determined running, and I suppose, Emma, when you're playing into the wind, that's good tactics to run with the ball, because if you kick it, it's just going to go anywhere.
Absolutely, and keeping the ball in hand is going to be critical today. Great run by Caoimhe O'Connor, supported there by Hannah Tyrrell, but keeping ball in hand and through the hands is really going to be vital, particularly in the first half for Dublin.
So it's 1 point each. Dublin 1 point, Cavan 1 point. This is Hannah Tyrrell now. Someone's going to need to come closer to her, and that is now Lindsay Davey and now Goldrick. Ball bobbling around there, and Cavan been nice and compact in there and forcing problems for Dublin, and now they're breaking, and they're breaking at speed, and they're knitting things together quite well. Dublin getting back, but that was well played by Aisling Walls, another very young player from Killygarry. Killygarry were in the Ulster Minor Club Championship a couple of years ago, so a few of those girls coming in. Now it's a high ball there in the wind, but it's well taken under pressure by the number 18 Orlin Nolan, and that's why Dublin are now on the attack. Tyrrell to Davy. Kick pass looking for Ahern. Tough challenge comes in, and she doesn't get the ball. Neither of them get the ball, and that looked a rather crude challenge on Ahern, and she's taken a bit of a knock there as well. It's probably her first start in quite a long time. I can't remember the last start that Sinead Ahern would have made, but she looks sprightly out there.
Yeah, possibly since the end of the club season for Sylvester's.
No, I mean for Dublin.
For Dublin, and yeah, we didn't see her throughout the league, so she's been lively up and down the pitch
and causing problems there for Cavan. Centre half back Martha Byrne up in the attack, and that's Lindsay Davey, who's also sprightly, and she's been involved a lot, and she is fouled, and a bit of a protest, but can't really have much of a protest about that. That was a pretty clear foul. So 1 point each. Dublin 1 point, Cavan 1 point, and Dublin playing into the strong wind, and Carla Rowe will have a chance here again to get a point for Dublin. She had one a little bit further out, same angle, hit the post. So the girl from Clanwurra steps inside and belts that one over the bar, and that's a proud moment for her. 3 All-Stars, 4 All-Irelands, captaining her county today on her club pitch. Got to mention the chairman, of course, of Dublin Ladies, Joe Keane as well, who's been around here all morning making sure that everything works perfectly. So a great day for Carla and a great day for Joe, both from Clanwurra. A little bit of rain coming now as well, just to mix things up for us in the middle of June. Cavan with a chance now to break, and you see the Cavan flag behind there fluttering violently in the wind, and we've added a drop of rain to that as well, and we hope it's only a drop. Good long ball in there, but well fielded by Caoimhe O'Connor all the way back there. She won that like a corner back in there. That's great defending, and Dublin remain 2 points to 1 up. And the feature so far, or one of the features so far, Emma, is that the Dublin players can do that. We've seen Sinead Ahern back there, and we've now seen Caoimhe O'Connor. Yeah,
a huge amount of energy from the forward line coming up and down the pitch. There's Sinead Ahern again, back on around 45. But both defences have been really compact, and the defences have really kind of been on top here.
McGee now knitting things together, giving it to Ahern, and she's fouled, but referee says play on. Goldrick opts for the kick pass, and that's a good kick pass in the conditions, very accurate. Run off the shoulder here, mightn't need it though, and that's another point for Dublin, and it's put over by Kate Sullivan. 3 points to 1 for Dublin. Good football into the wind.
Yeah, very, very much so. The kind of low ball in there to Kate Sullivan, and again over her left shoulder. Super score.
3 points to 1. Elaine Walsh with the kick out, looking to get it over the top again, and indeed it might go to a Cavan player, and indeed the captain is there, and she's been chased by Carla Rowe, but the captain does well. That's Laura Fitzpatrick, and gives it to Sinead Green, and there's a little bit of room here. Oh, lovely little dummy by Geraldine Smith, and she tries to get a shot in and does, but Orla Nolan is there, and Kate McDade picks up the rebound. I see someone has dropped their gloves in the middle of the pitch. I'd have thought you'd have needed your gloves now with the rain coming out, but maybe they just lost them. Maybe they didn't throw them away. Maybe they did just lose them for a second. Seems to be just a spit of rain, as you call it, so hopefully nothing more than that. This is Geraldine Smith again. She was fouled for the penalty against Donegal in their last game, but such a big ask for Cavan. Against Donegal they lost by 14 points. Now there is a back pass that nearly ended up going in a dangerous area. Just for a minute there was a little bit of concern, not panic but concern, but Ciara Trant had vacated the house and just had a look to see if he got that. And a nice pass by her as well, and they're working the ball out of defence well, Dublin, into the strong wind. And this is the 7-time All-Star player of the match in the Leinster final. She's back, and she's back in a determined way, and she's knitting the things together around there, but not on that occasion. Actually has a chance for Cavan here, and Sinead Green is coming off the shoulder and with her head up now, and that's a good sensible ball by her out to Mona Sheridan, with lots of room on this side actually, and the girl from Mullahoran with her sister watching, and another one on the bench, and her dad watching, Jerry, as well. And there's a chance, and there's a kick coming in. That's dangerous, you know what? Smacks off the crossbar, and that was from Lauren McVeety, and the effort comes in the end and goes wide, and the referee says that's okay, even though there is a player down. But bit of concern there for Dublin, and Trant maybe had it covered, but it was one of those ones in a strong wind. It could have just dropped in. Yeah,
it literally hit off the angle of the crossbar and came back out, but Anya Riley did really well to get a shot away, but a collision there with Leah Caffrey there in the back as well.
So it's an interesting sort of tactical thing with the wind as well. Dublin coming forward, but Cavan very good at counter-attacking.
Yeah, they are, and I think if they actually looked up a little bit more, there's actually an acre of space between the 13 and the 45 there for them to put the ball into, because the wind is really, really strong. Both of the three keepers' kick-outs have actually gone nearly to the halfway line, so using that wind is going to be vital, and transitioning as quick as they can.
It's quite strange in a way, because you'd think into a strong wind most teams would sort of pace themselves and just sort of sit back, but it's Dublin's nature, of course. They're just going for the game.
Yeah, that's not going to. I don't think that's going to happen. You're seeing the different energy with different players. You've seen Caoimhe O'Connor back in her own back line. You've seen Sinead Ahern back in her own back line. You see Kate Sullivan back in her own back line.
Here, I'm very interested in these kickouts. See what the Dublin players did there. I saw them doing this in the game against Meath. I'll explain in a minute. We'll get back with the play, because Cavan have turned it over, and that's the full forward in there. That is Anya Riley, and she tried to play a ball in there to Smith, but Ciara Trant read it. Now Dublin, I did say they were good coming out of defence, but it looks now like they might be having a bit of difficulty because there's pressure being put on them. Now they've got out, and now there's grass in front of Goldrick. She composes herself, gives it to McGee. Both of them in Australia, of course, over the winter. And now it's Lindsay Davey going through. Lovely solo as well. And surely she's fouled there. No, the referee says no. He's a lot closer to it and says there wasn't a foul there. She maybe just took a little bit too much out of it. Looked like a foul from here, but obviously not. And it's Cavan's turn to try and break, but that's beautifully won back. That's what you call pickpocketing by Kate Sullivan, and she gives it to Hannah Turrell. You've no time on the ball at this level. Cavan are going to have to get used to that quickly. Goldrick slips it into Davy. Off she goes again. Rowe is on the run. She finds Rowe on her home pitch, and she puts it into the net. Oh, the perfect goal for the captain from Clanwera. She's done it all for Dublin, but she hasn't done it here on her home pitch. She has now. Super goal for Carla Rowe. Lovely run inside, and she will be very proud of that special moment for her.
Yeah, an excellent moment for Carla Rowe. Brilliant running from Dublin. Very direct and worked out into a goal.
And well found as well, but it was just that running behind, wasn't it?
Literally around the back. She's kind of been doing that for the last couple of minutes, just running in around the back, and it paid off for her there.
Now Dublin coming again. They lead 1-3 to a point, so 5 points clear, and that into the strong wind. But Cavan have it now, and that is Gilsonan, and this is Green, and their idea was to kick past it quickly and try and catch Dublin out, but it went straight to Leah Caffrey. So Dublin just keep winning the ball back, and if you think about that goal, Emma, it came from Kate Sullivan, really, from coming on the blind side of her player and winning it back.
Brilliant interception just in midfield, and they transitioned it through 5 players really quickly, and Carla Rowe finishing great at the bottom of the net.
And Leah Caffrey now joining the attack and winning a free as well. They're so good at coming off the shoulder and then bursting through at the right time, and they're drawing a lot of frees.
Yeah, there's a lot of frees being drawn there. I thought that one on Lindsay Davey was probably a little bit it possibly could have been a free as well, just on the edge of the square, but it has a lot of frees, and so I think it's going to be a very defensive and compact game.
Now Carla Rowe going for another score, and she's judged that one perfectly too, and I think that's a goal and 2 for Carla Rowe. It's a goal and 4 for Dublin, 1 point for Cavan, and now Dublin have put a little bit of distance between the teams. So what can Cavan do? They've had good success from the kickouts, but Dublin seem to be up to that one now, or has this one gone all the way through to Aisling Walls? It has actually, so Cavan have it, and they are on the attack. But look at the Dublin players getting back, and now they leave it off to Gilsonan again, trying to move it quickly, and they do that. Oh, that's tenacious, close defending there. That was brilliant defending, and trying to see who it was. Was that Jess Tobin?
I think it was Niamh Collins.
No, you're right, it was Niamh Collins. Sorry, the way over in that far corner, number 4. Yeah. And you know, they're breaking Cavan's heart at the minute, because Cavan are trying their best, but they're winning the balls back like that you shouldn't really expect to win, but they're just so tenacious.
Yeah, absolutely. Their defence is just phenomenal, and the 3 half forwards for Dublin are working so hard and getting the hand in, and it's just really getting the dirty turnover ball.
And Ahern does a sensible thing and puts it over the bar, and she gets a score at one end, but she'll be the first to say that came from Niamh Collins.
100% was great hand in from Niamh Collins, and she was so calm, and the ball was just worked out really nicely.
1-5 to a point now for Dublin. I did tell you that I'd bring you up to date with the whole Dublin kick-out strategy, but that's when they have a kick-out. They haven't had one for a while, but it's just Cavan's kick-out, and they go short to the captain, and she's fouled, so free for Cavan, and she's looking to take it. Now, there's a lot of room out near us on this side here, but it's trying to find a Cavan player. The referee brings her forward. Actually, I'm not quite sure what that was for, but maybe there was a bit of back chat there, but it is now a chance for Cavan to relieve the pressure for a minute. And that's actually a really good kick, and that's found Lauren McVitie immediately under pressure. Gives it inside to Walls. This is Green now bursting through, and that's excellent play by her actually, and she leaves it off. And it's the full forward Riley again, and a chance kick comes in, and that's an excellent move by Cavan, 2nd point of the game. But look how hard they had to work to get that. Now this kick out strategy from Dublin, I wonder are they going to do it this time? They're not, but sometimes they do it, and there's like all 6 players in a line up the middle, like facing the goalkeeper, and then they burst out. They're not doing it this time, so they obviously only do it now and again, but it's very, very interesting. Saw them do it in Croke Park, and then they burst at the last minute to try and win the ball. We'll keep an eye on that one, but for now it is Martha Byrne. Actually, no, that's Jess Tobin. Did get it right this time. That is Tobin. And it is Dublin quickly transferring the ball into attack, but that's actually a little bit too quick, and it's gone over the sideline on the far side. So it's Cavan ball. So Cavan, they need to really settle, Emma. How do they settle?
I think that long ball actually would work really well for them. When it has gone in, and it's gone in early, they've created the scores. So
well, here's a chance. Oh, she went short instead. And look at the challenge again there, but that's an illegal one from McGee there, and that's going to be a free. But yeah, and having said that though, looking off camera, Dublin and an extra player back there, of course, but you think they should be tempted to just throw it in there?
Tempted to put it in. I mean, anytime they've put it in on the right or the left hand side, they've kind of been out in front and won the ball. So it's a massive option there while the wind is so strong, and the wind is actually getting even stronger as we're standing here as well.
So a free for Cavan, trailing 1-5 to 2. That's a good free actually. They've kept possession from it, and Walls is there. Comes back out. And an effort from serious distance, but a serious effort from Keenahan. But it goes to the left and wide. She must have heard you use that wind. She tried to use it, but it just went to the left and wide from just inside the 45. Now these kickouts have to be accurate, and that one certainly was. Goldrick is here, and Sullivan is shaping up to take it. She gets it, and the pass is absolutely perfect. She's able to take it on the run. Perfect height for her, and she speeds off now, and she is a speedy player and leaves it in. And it's the St Sylvester's connection. They're only up the road from here in Malahide, and they are delighted with that. I'd say up there, because that was the two girls on the left hand side of the attack from Sylvester's, Sullivan and Ahern, and if you like, the pupil setting up the master, Ahern, for an excellent goal. She's back, second goal of the game for Dublin, and Ahern, a rare start for her, but she has still got it. 7 All-Stars, her first in 2009, and she's still doing it for Dublin. Good goal.
Great goal. And Kate Sullivan, excellent running, so much energy up this side and up the wing, and literally great transition into Sinead Ahern, and brilliant low finish, smart finish to the bottom corner.
Now Cavan rocked by that. They find themselves 9 points down and not been given a moment at all. That's McDade challenging there, and the free actually goes the other way. It's over carrying against Mona Sheridan, and Cavan not happy with that, but another sign of just how close Dublin are sticking to the players and not giving them time at all. They're making life really, really difficult. And I know this is Cavan on a windy day at the start of the championship, but and there's Niamh Collins just getting out of a little spot of concern there. No problem at all to her. But Emma, how good are Dublin today?
The energy is just phenomenal. You know, they're really good. They're really up for this. The energy is fantastic for transitioning from back to front, and the defensive unit as well is working really, really well.
I suppose the question would have been, well, after you've beaten Meath in Croke Park in the Leinster Championship, how do you get up for this game? Well, they've shown how. 100%.
They are out here. They're fighting for every ball in every battle.
There's an effort for Cavan. It's going to go wide, but it's going to come back for a free in for Cavan. And yeah, I mean, Meath really have put it up to them, and they've had to go back to the drawing board, and they did beat Meath the last day, and they look like a team now on a serious mission, and they're carrying on that form.
Yeah, and you know, maybe the Meath factor isn't the worst thing either. You know, they're two each over the last year in terms of their battles, and you know, it's made Dublin probably change a little bit how they play and how they set up as well, and big learnings from the All-Ireland final last year. So no, absolutely, the girls look really hungry today, and it's there's some super football happening out here in the field.
Score is 2-5 to 2 points for Dublin. We will get that scoreboard sorted out for you on the screen there. I'll keep updating you as I have been. It's 2-5 to 2. That's 11 to 2. Is that about to change? It is 2-5 to 3. Point for Cavan, and it's taken by Lauren McVitie. So they get it back a little bit. Now the kick out by Trant again goes short. They're having to go low and short and keep possession, and then go back to the goalkeeper, and that's working for them, and then they feed it out through the middle. They really are up for this game, and I don't know, Emma, is it because they got beat last year and there's a redemption factor there, even in the way that the team was named and lined out today, with so many of the players who've been there down the years? As Sinead Ahern, it's like Mick wants to keep them all together. We're going to get this, and we're going to get back, and we're going to get back to the top with the team who came this far.
Yeah, like absolutely. There's, you know, there's a great structure in the Dublin team there today, and a really strong spine, and you know, you can see that throughout the panel as well, even with some of the new additions and that type of thing that have come in. But you know, there is you know, they're always going to be wounded. Nobody likes to lose an All-Ireland final, and you know, they've had their battles with Meath now in the last, you know, 9 or 10 months.
Look at how hard they work. I mean, that's Hannah Tyrrell coming back and winning a ball there again, coming from behind. And I feel sorry for the Cavan players at this point, because they just can't settle at all, because there's Dublin players coming at them from everywhere.
You know, absolutely. I mean, the work rate from the forwards to get back has just been, you know, tremendous. Hannah Tyrrell there, you know, coming back in 20-30 metres to try and win that ball. Yes, it was a free against her, but you know, it is that kind of energy, and that energy just, you know, is inspirational throughout the team. That would just rejuvenate anybody on a team as well.
Serious learning experience for Cavan. As I said, they've only played 4 games this year, and they've all been against Ulster teams, so they've come out and they've tried to take on this juggernaut, and that's what it is like today, this Dublin team. They've really upped their game. They've learned so much from, I think, the 2 Meath games. I think they learned something more even from the game in Parnell Park, and they've come back now and they seem to be playing with more confidence. It was like they weren't quite sure what to do, but they seem to have it now, and they showed that the last day. They probably showed it in the last 15 minutes of the Meath game in Parnell Park, and they're playing with a lot more confidence, and the players are really on top of their game. They're very professional, very sharp all over the field, and you just feel that there's a bit of an All-Ireland feel about them there. It's like they've got their mojo back. Now this is Orlin Nolan. Kick pass inside to Sullivan, and it's an accurate one as well, and now Sullivan is looking for a little bit of help, gives it to Ahern, who was just waiting for it, and she tries to judge it, but it's going to the right. It isn't even going wide actually, and Tyrrell comes in to challenge, and that will be a free out. Just to remind you, the score 2-5 to 3 points. Apologies about no scoreboard there at the moment. We will sort that out at half time, but at the moment it is definitely 2-5 to 3 for Dublin. Well in control, 8 points in control. Goalkeeper for Cavan is Elaine Walsh. Now where does she go with this? Again, the pressure. Look at this. I mean, their number 15 has had to go all the way back to the left corner back, and the fullback for Dublin, Leah Caffrey, followed her all the way there. And Hannah Tyrrell working hard now to try and turn it over, and they're not sure what the decision is actually. And that's Gráinne Sands from County Down, and she gives it to Dublin, and a lot of Down officials here. And Gráinne on the line today. She was wearing the shades earlier on. She's not using them during the match, but you could use them during the match. The sun's out here. It's nice now. Very windy, as Emma Murphy was saying, but pleasant day apart from that. But I gather it's always windy in this part of the world, Emma. Is that right?
Yeah, apparently so. Yeah, it's always kind of quite windy up here. We're looking at the people up on the hill with the great vantage points, and they're absolutely the shades out and sunning themselves as well. They're getting a bit of shelter from the wind, but the wind is a huge factor in kind of the type of play that we're having today. But you'd worry for Cavan in the second half of Dublin having that advantage.
Goldrick doesn't seem to have anybody marking her. She's always free and always available, but there's 2 or 3 more like that. And that's because Cavan have dropped. They've dropped back. Now, Mona Sheridan faces up to Sullivan. Ahern way down in the right corner, just waits her moment. She's done that so often. She just waits and then bursts, gives it to her Sylvester's teammate Sullivan, and it's a good left-footed kick pass out, but they will get a free. In fact, there's a Cavan player who's down injured, but I think it's a free for Dublin.
A great transition there from Sinead Ahern. She just has this turn of pace that comes out of nowhere and just absolutely left the corner back behind her and drew the free.
Seen her doing it so often, you know. In fact, she saw her doing it in a club match as well recently. It's like she slows down and almost does a solo on a stationary position, and then the player thinks, oh, I'll go in here, and then she just bursts.
It's just such quick feet. It's absolutely such quick feet. Great for any young girl to watch that. Or
timing. Now this is Hannah Tyrrell with a good angle. Steps inside, makes it a better angle, and makes it a point for Dublin, and that's 2-6 to Dublin, 3 points to Cavan. So a 9-point lead for the recently crowned Leinster champions.
It's a big lead going into half time, particularly with Dublin having the wind in the second half.
It really is. Leanne Walsh now for Cavan. High kick out up the middle, but goes straight into the arms of Caffrey. Nolan gives it forward to Davy. As in my imagination, of Dublin dropped off just a little bit, and that's not a big surprise when you have a 9-point lead and things are going that well. But these girls all know that they have to keep their spot on the team. There's a big squad there, lots of very talented players. Now Goldrick, I did say she's always available, and she is. Now this is Carla Rowe. Changed her mind at the last minute and somehow passed it there, and I thought, is that legal? And it's not.
It might be just minorly illegal there, a little bit of a throw slash.
I thought that's either illegal or genius. Now Elaine Watts looking to hit the wings again, and she's looking to find Aisling Gilson in. And in the end, finds Mona Sheridan. Referee blows the whistle for half-time. It's been an entertaining half-time, Emma Murphy.
Yeah, it's been fast. It's been direct. It's been a tough one for Cavan in terms of trying to just keep up with the Dublin energy. So another kind of big half to come from Cavan in the second half if they're to get back into this.
Yeah, they're really, really up against it in the second half. 2-6 to 3, 9 points down at half-time, but that's as good as I've seen from Dublin in this stage of the championship for a long time. They've really done a job out there.
Yeah, they're really positive. They're really up for it. They kind of know their own game. They've been smart with the wind. They've held the ball. Their runners have been excellent. You know, the girls that are really strong with the ball in hand, like Kate Sullivan running the wings, have been brilliant. And it's the scores have come, and they've been patient with taking the scores as well and taking smart scores.
Okay, well, we'll take a break for a few minutes. The players are going in. Well, the Cavan players are going in. The Dublin players seem to be staying out. But either way, they're all going to take a break for a few minutes. So we will be back right here. Welcome back to a blustery North Dublin, and it's got even more windy. Sorry if we're going on about it too much, but it's very windy. But those kids out in the middle of the field don't care one bit at all. They're having a ball out there. Not quite as many as we saw in Parnell Park last month, but certainly plenty. Lots of pink, lots of blue, lots of Dublin kids enjoying the chance to get out and play on the pitch where their heroes have been playing in the first half and playing very impressively. Dublin lead at half-time, 2-6 to 3 points. Big crowd in at the game. I gather there was at least 380 tickets sold by mid-morning, and a lot of them enjoying this game. You see all the hair blowing in the wind, but they're having a great time, young and old, and it is a little bit of history. It's the first time ever that Dublin have played a ladies senior championship game at this venue at Clanwura, and of course the chairperson of Dublin Ladies, Joe Keane, is from here, and the captain today, Carla Rowe, who scored a goal and a couple of points in that first half. And those kids really enjoying themselves out there, and great atmosphere here. Emma Murphy.
Yeah, absolutely, really good atmosphere. It's a great crowd. As we said, the pitch is in immaculate condition and the facilities here are absolutely excellent, so it made for a really good feature in the first half.
And what do you make of kids being allowed out at half time? They're having a ball.
Oh, absolutely, more of it. You know, it's great to see. It's great and out here, and I know I'm making a bit of a song and dance about it, but it's all young girls actually to our right out with their footballs.
Well, and these ones down right in front of us in the pink, I'm not quite sure what they're doing. There's certainly no ball in the middle of that, but they're having a ball.
No, absolutely. And look, it's great to see. It's great to see the kind of local kind of club component coming in here for a championship feel as well. So great for those boys and girls to be able to get out in the field and kick a ball around at half time.
Yeah, there's boys out there as well, and you know, down the years you imagine kids sitting in the stand, and there's so many stewards, and you see it at so many games and Premier League and these things, and you're not allowed on the pitch, and you're not allowed in Croke Park, you're not allowed, but here it's like they're able to get that release and just run out there, and it's just a joy for them.
Oh, hugely, and you're actually seeing some people there running off the pitch that aren't as young as well, so they've been kicking the ball around at half time. So
Emma, if you want to go out there, you work away, kid, you know, I mean, we'll wait for you. I'll keep it going here. You sound like you want to go out there.
A bit of envy there as well, yeah, a little bit of envy there. They're all kicking the ball.
The referee is calling for the teams to come out, but no sign of either team. He has blown his whistle, and his umpires.
And actually the person running across the field was actually Angela Gallagher, who's running across there, referee herself, national referee herself. So that's who was running off the pitch there at half time.
Oh yeah, I was talking to her earlier when she arrived actually, yes, and Grania Sands is there in the other line from County Down, so they're doing the job today, and the referee is from County Down from Unreact. That's Cavan Finnegan, and there's the Cavan players coming out now, and what a job they have in the second half, because they are trailing 2-6 to 3 points, 12 plays 3, and that was them playing with the wind in the first half. I thought it might level things up a bit, but it really was, well, the cliche is boys against men, but you know what I mean, it's girls against women.
Yeah, look, the Dublin fitness is just phenomenal, the energy and the fitness that they have there as well. So I think that really showed in the first half, and it was just so difficult for the Cavan backs to even kind of get back and get a hand in at them when they're running at them with at that pace.
So impressed by Dublin in the first half, and they really are, you know, if anything you could attribute and maybe give it to Meath, but Dublin seem to have raised the level, or maybe they've gone back to the level they were pre-COVID.
Yeah, again, it is a fitness level. I mean, I think there's, as you were saying in the warm-ups earlier on, there's such a professionalisation come into the ladies' game as well, and how there's such a high level of preparedness as well, and that's really kind of coming through, and you're seeing that with the Dublin team today.
We're not seeing the Dublin team though.
No,
they aren't out yet. We're waiting for them. They will come from the left corner here in a minute, so if our camera goes around we'll see them coming out. A lot of people down on that side, but the players are in behind there, and they're just taking their time, you know, they're not in a rush, they're leading and they're doing what they do at half time, and you just feel that it's a very tight setup that Dublin have, and it's very strict as well, and everybody's buying into it again, and they are going well at the minute. And there they come now out onto the pitch. And I see there's Carla come running through as well. She is the captain today, and she is co-captain this year, but we've had a few captains for Dublin this year. Martha Byrne was captain the first day of the league down in Waterford. Sinead Goldrick was captain, I think, in the game at Parnell Park, and then the last day Niamh Collins are co-captain there as well. But Carla took the toss today, and she was proud to do so, and has scored a goal and a couple of points as well. Now I'm looking around to see if there's any other changes from the first half, and I don't see any just yet, so it might be more of the same in the second half, but certainly Dublin very motivated, very sharp, very intense, and very clinical as well when they got forward, because they got a couple of lovely goals as well, didn't they?
They did, yeah, and Mick has decided to stay on this sideline here now in the possibly for the second half, or is he going to run across? But maybe looking for a different vantage point. Will we offer him a different vantage point? Maybe
he didn't fancy, he didn't think he'd make it there, or he'd just let the referee get on with it. I think he's going to make his way around. He is. So Gavin Finnegan, the referee from County Down, made the relatively short trip down the road for this game. Wind going very strongly from right to left. Oh, we're waiting for one player. Here comes Orla Nolan, number 18. So she's taking up her position, and then we will be ready to go. Everything is in place. Lovely day here in North Dublin. Windy but sunny. A nice crowd here. Good atmosphere. Good football as well. It's a championship. It's championship summer. So Dublin leading 2-6 to 3. Cavan win it, and they get a free if they need it. Don't need it, so off they go, but they did well to win that one. They didn't win the one at the start of the game, but now it's they on the attack, but strong challenging there from Lauren McGee. And a free given for Cavan. Lots of runs off the ball, mainly by this girl, that's Aisling Gilsonen, but doesn't get there, and that's good taggerish play by Jess Tobin. And now it's Dublin who will try and hit them on the break. So Carla Rowe under pressure from the opposing number 11, that is Lauren McVitie, but still holds onto the ball, and that's one of the differences between these teams. When Cavan have come under serious pressure, they've lost the ball, but Dublin able to hold onto the ball under pressure, and Tyrrell fancying her luck there from a bad angle, but trying to use the wind and curl it in there. Did she just manage it? And she did, you know, she's just curled it in beautifully there, Hannah Tyrrell. That's how to use the wind. Excellent score at the start of the second half, makes it 2-3 to 3 points, and now Cavan forced to go for the short kickouts, but under pressure. They cope though. This is Shauna Lynch. Now off the shoulder, they're bursting, just trying to get out of their own sort of between the 21 and 45, and they've just about made it now, but life very difficult for the Breffni girls in the second half. But they're applying themselves well in the first couple of minutes. Support there from Gilsonen, who's had to go all the way out to the middle of the field, gives it back to Sheridan. Number 9 is Denneher. Another from Mullahoran, big Mullahoran connection there with the Sheridans, of course. That's Erin Longair. This is Mona Sheridan again. And now it's a run off the shoulder from Shauna Lynch from Crosser Lock, but she is turned over there, and Sinead Heron just gets a touch on it and gets it to Jess O'Brien, or Jess Tobin rather, from the Coola Club. And this is Kiva O'Connor. And she gets support from Tobin, but ball just evades her grasp, and this is Kate McIntyre for Cavan. This is better from Cavan, and just as I say that, Tyrrell nips in there, and that's not the first time she's done it, and that's a brilliant ball in behind to, I thought Ahern was going to be in there, but the keeper just came out, and maybe the wind just carried it away from her, but it was a bit like in the first half when Rowe got in behind the Cavan defence. It's good work by Denneher again for Cavan. And Gilsonen playing a lot deeper, but there again you see Dublin so close to their players and in there to intercept and turn over. And that's Kate McDade from Kilmacud Crooks. Speeding into the corner. Comes back, and her kick actually goes way out of play, and that we'll let her off with that.
Yeah, she was slightly indecisive and turned back and overcarried and conceded the free. But she was great running down the wing again.
So Sinead Green goes short to Gilsonen, who's seen the ball more than anyone at the start of the second half. Cavan just trying to play keep ball, and that's clever in these conditions, and then the burst through, but that burst goes straight into, is it Lindsay Davey? No, it's not, it's Kate Sullivan, and it's going to be a free in and a tick as well, and Davey looks to take it quickly.
Really big energy there from Lindsay Davey in the first 5 minutes of the second half. She made a burst for about 40 metres to get back and get her hand in for a ball.
There's always a burst of energy with Lindsay Davey, and she's been playing for so long.
Yeah, just phenomenal athlete. Great inspiration for young girls and young boys coming into the game.
Rowe lays it off, and that's Kiva O'Connor. Fancies her chances from a bad angle and puts it over as well, and that's two excellent scores at the start of the second half for Dublin. Stretch their lead to 8 to 3 points, and Mick Bowen's now over in the far touchline, so he's back in his normal position. He's just made his way around, taking a different angle of proceedings. This is Sinead Green. Comes inside, and look at the pressure again, that time applied by McDade. And what do you think, Emma, will have been the word for Cavan for the second half?
Well, you'd be hoping that just to try and be as compact as possible and contain Dublin as much as you can. Try not to concede goals. When we saw the goalkeeper doing really well there, just to get in front of Sinead Ahern when they put the through ball there for Dublin. But conceding two early scores as well. But it's going to be it's an uphill battle for them now.
Well, this is good though, and they've got it up to Geraldine Smith. As she goes off on the left hand side, but look how hard Hannah Tyrrell is working today in this senior championship first day for Dublin. And I don't know if I've seen her work that hard before working back. I've seen her very hard working forward, and yes, she does work back, but today she's doing exceptional work. What does that say about this Dublin team? Yeah,
it's absolutely phenomenal the way they're each working. There's somebody going up, somebody going back, doing the hard work up and back, and then taking a recovery break then at the other end. But their energy is just immense.
But Gilsonen is through now, and look at the challenge coming in, but she hits the net. despairing tackle coming in from Goldrick, but Gilson finishes it to the net, and Cavan have scored a goal into the wind at the start of the second half, and credit to them for that. The heads could have dropped, but they have hit the net. Brilliant goal into the top corner. So many Dublin challenges coming in, and they'll be disappointed with that, but it was a great finish.
Yeah, absolutely. Fast hands worked that goal, and an excellent finish just above Ciara Trant.
And you saw Goldrick coming back there as if her life depended on it, as if it was the last minute of an All-Ireland final.
100%, that's all you ever get from Sinead.
And they will be disappointed.
Yeah, they'd be disappointed to have conceded the goal. You know, there was momentum there going forward, and they've got 2 early scores, but look, it gives Cavan a bit of hope.
And Gilson has played well, as I was saying at the start of the second half. But look at that again, 3 Dublin players around every Cavan girl. And I imagine the management might be saying to them, look, don't let the heads drop. Treat this as an experience. Go and just give it all you have.
You know, there's plenty of energy, particularly on this wing here from Aisling Walls from Cavan. She had been winning the kickouts in the first half, and she's just see a turnover there.
This is more like Goldrick. She's won it this time. She leaves it inside to Ahern. She might get it back again. You know, she does. And Goldrick is through. She leaves it off unselfishly to Tyrrell. And Rowe is there again. And she's done it again. She scored a goal at either end. Beautiful sunshine here in North Dublin. Lovely day for the start of the championship. It's championship weather, and it's championship finishing by Carla Rowe. And the Dubs are back.
Yeah, very unselfish there by Hannah Tyrrell. She could have had a go herself, but saw Carla Rowe in a much better position and laid it off.
And again, it came from Goldrick winning the ball out here, and now they've won another ball. And it's Davy now, trying to get her score, gets her score as well, and has to be said, Emma, a lot of these girls are rolling back the years.
Yeah, they are. A great interception there from Kate Sullivan just on and laying it off to Lindsay Davy. But the energy and the work rate and the fitness from Dublin is just really showing. I mean, Sinead Goldrick's interception here was just great hand in, and she was forward and gone before the 2 Cavan players could try and catch her.
Do you think Cavan annoyed them with that goal?
Possibly. You might be a little bit of a red rag to a ball.
Yeah, they shouldn't have done that. You don't want to be scoring goals. That's a good interception though, and I think it was Keenahan in there, and Cavan bursting clear for once, and a little bit of room in front of them. And they are making progress here, and Dublin are actually trying to keep up with them, but that's lovely quick transfer of ball by Cavan. Very accurate, very intricate, but really, really good. And the effort coming in from McVitie, and that has to be said is one of the scores of the day, and they had to work very hard for it, and they really deserved it. Good score, 3-9 to 1-4.
It's fast football, and it's working for them when they can do that transition really, really quickly.
Talking about transition, brilliant kick out by Ciara Trant to Sullivan. So they just turned it around. Now, was that two bounces in a row? Not sure. Got away with it anyway. And McDade now. So Dublin in control, but Cavan showing there's a bit of life in them and a bit of imagination and creativity as well. And that's Ahern giving it in to Davy. And O'Connor tried to take it in her stride. This is green for Cavan. As a Dublin player goes down, and the referee I think will hold that up because somebody took a dig there and that looked painful. But no, he actually plays on, and Green gets the ball and immediately turns into Tobin and gets her free, looks to take it quickly, and looking off camera I'm trying to see where she would go, and there's only 2 options, and both Cavan players have been very well marked, so she has to go back, and the referee now has seen that there is a Dublin player back. So very interesting, this group, Emma, looking at it. You have Mayo against Tip as well, and then next week Cavan against Mayo and Tip against Dublin. Dublin obviously the favourites, especially after today's display and the championship and it's the first day for the senior championship, and this is certainly Dublin putting down a marker, isn't it?
Yeah, this group is interesting because it's a 4-team group. You know, it's the three matches for each team to play. So, you know, the second spot definitely would be up for grabs there as well. But you know, the 3-team leagues, the 3-team groups generally tend to be less exciting because one match you've lost and you're out. So this one there'd be a bit of, you know, there's 2 good matches to come for Cavan as well. You know, so it would be an interesting group. Yeah,
and as I was saying earlier, they need game time. They've just had 3 games in the league, 1 game in Ulster. This is only their 5th game of 2022, and we're in June.
Yeah, maybe no round robin in Ulster might have been at a disadvantage to them, whereas in Leinster there's plenty of game time for a lot of the teams there as well. So it's a fine balance between fatigue and game time.
Well, the difference is in Leinster you have more teams at intermediate than senior. whereas in Ulster you have more teams at senior, so
true.
that's kind of how it works. Now this is Fitzpatrick, the captain of Cavan, coming forward with Gilson in. Again, showing good enterprise, but look, that's what they have to do. They have to play it into tight areas, and then Dublin just get a hand in and scrap for it and battle for it as if their lives depended on it. Now there's a substitute actually in for Dublin, number 17. That's Hannah Leahy, and she is in there. She must have come on at half time into the back area there. Hannah Leahy for Dublin. I'm trying to see who's not there. I wonder, is it... Leah Caffrey's still there, and Collins is still there, and Tobin is still there, and Goldrick is in there. I wonder, is it Martha Byrne?
Possibly
Or
Martha Byrne.
yeah, Nolan's still in there as well.
I think it's Martha Byrne.
Martha Byrne, yeah, and there's a substitution being made now on in the actual play. The number 10, Keeve O'Connor, is going off to be replaced by number 30, and that's Tammy Quinn Corbally from the Thomas Davis Club. So changes for Dublin, and I think we'll see a good few more of these. And number 19 in as well, and that's Nicole Owens. Just another all-star. Throw in another all-star while you're at it. She started, of course, in Croke Park. Didn't start today, but is in the field now. So imagine if you're a young girl from Cavan and you're going, this is really tough going, and then you see Nicole Owens coming on fresh, another all-star and another fantastic Dublin player.
Yeah, Kate Sullivan's just gone off for Nicole Owens, so you're now going to have Nicole Owens running it down the right wing rather than Kate Sullivan.
Yeah, you're thinking, oh my goodness, the Sylvester's Express is going off, and then Nicole appears. From the same club, of course. Now, Dublin. Breaking at speed. Lots of options. Nolan has it, and she transfers it accurately into the corner to Tyrrell, even though there's two Cavan players there. And she turns and twists, lays it back. Cavan have got back into their defensive system, and Gilson nips in there to get it away from Ahern. This is Danaher doing good work in the second half for Cavan. And this is her midfield partner Nessa Bird from Crosserlock. This is better from Cavan, and they have been coming out very impressively in the second half on a number of occasions. Danaher again, surrounded. Referee lifted his whistle as if to blow, but then let it go. And as always, Davy is there and available and moves it on to Ahern. Now Ahern tries to come inside, and that's definitely a foul, but they go on, and Carla Rowe puts it over, and the referee is not going to deny her another point on her home ground.
Again, more tenacious defending there by Hannah Leahy. Really quick transitions and great score for Dublin.
Which makes it 3-10 to 1-4. Three Cavan substitutes coming on now, all in a row. Over on the far side, three subs for them. So they're starting to ring the changes. They're taking off Anya Riley, the number 14, the full forward, and the number 13, Geraldine Smith. That's two I've spotted going off. They have one more to go off, or maybe they're going to try and sneak one on and keep.
It's Aisling Walls,
16.
I think.
Oh, Aisling Walls has gone off as well. Okay, so the three in. Number 18 for Cavan is Ali Cahill, and if two more, but I'll let you work that out, Emma, while I follow the play. There's 20, 21, and
I think it's 22. It's Kerry McCormick from Kingsport.
that's Kerry McCormick. 22 is Geraldine Sheridan. Scored 2 goals against Tyrone, and apart from Lauren McVitie, she's the only other girl who scored a goal this year for Cavan. They could do with one of those, although of course Gilson got one in this game. Now Carla Rowe, she's looking for a third goal. That would really round off a fantastic day for her. Cavan closed the door, but they've been caught in behind a few times. Didn't cost them on that occasion. Work rate again from Dublin, forcing Cavan to go side to side. 3-10 plays 1-4. This is the number 10. This is Niamh Keenahan from Lara. On her left foot, but Lauren McGee pressures her and wins that back. Tyrrell now out around the middle of the field to Davy, who, as I said, is always available. Links up to play brilliantly. That's Nicole Owens. Goldrick spreads it out to Tyrrell, and Cavan have dropped off a little bit, and you don't do that when Hannah Tyrrell is around, because she'll do that. 3-11 plays 1-4.
Yeah, just so much time for Dublin there, so much time for Hannah Tyrrell to pick her spot, and with the wind, you can't give her that much room.
Feel sorry for Cavan, as I say. They don't have Aisling Sheridan, although she's in the crowd here today, and a few other players who are not on the scene, so they've had to bring in a lot of young players. That's Heatherton is in there now, and Thoreau, and now Nicole Owens. Oh my goodness, that's a finish and a half. My goodness, Sylvester's style there coming to the fore. That's a scorcher from the Sylvester's player. Makes it 4-11 to 1-4. She's only on the field about 2 minutes, and she has found the top corner. Brilliant goal once again. And Dublin, very, very impressive today.
Yeah, they're really pressurising the Cavan kick out. Brilliant interception from Niamh Heatherton, her first contribution. Ball into Nicole Owens, and what a finish.
And we're looking to see who she came in for, and I see Ahern still out there. They're maybe trying to get Ahern a full game. They're maybe going to leave her on there, but they've definitely taken, is it McDade maybe has gone off for Heatherton? That might have been the switch. That would probably explain it.
Yeah, I don't see Kate McDade there in the middle of the park, so I think...
And Heatherton's now marking the Cavan number 8. That would make sense. So 4-11 to 1-4 for the Dubs. It's good work by Niamh Collins from Fox Rock, as is this player. 2012 All-Star Sinead Goldrick, would you believe? That's 10 years ago she was an All-Star, and she's won 7 of them.
She's a phenomenal athlete, Sinead. Just brilliant energy, brilliant fitness levels.
Well, I remember that year doing the Leinster final, and she was player of the match in that as well. And I remember talking to one of the backroom people, Kathy Gallagher, who's actually from Tyrone, but she was down at Trinity, and she was involved in, and she was saying Goldie is just unbelievable. I didn't realise how good she was, and she's gone on over the last 10 years. And of course she won 5 All-Stars in a row, and I remember interviewing her after she won her 5th at the All-Stars, and she was so disappointed because although it was great to win 5, she just wanted an All-Ireland medal. There's a brilliant finish by Lindsay Davey, and what could you say about Lindsay as well from Skerry's Harps? 5 All-Stars for her. I mean, these girls have been there, done it all, yet they still have the hunger and the appetite today.
Yeah, and that's, I'm sure it's testament to the environment that they're in. They've obviously set their goals, they've set their targets, they have their
Hannah Turrell is in, she snipped in. Would she love the keeper here? The keeper's trying to get back. Oh, it just goes the wrong side of the post. That would have been a cheeky little one. But sorry, finish again.
Yeah, I don't look the right idea from Hannah there, try and shift the keeper. But the hunger, there's obviously hunger and values there within the group. They really want this. Maybe it's the hurt from Meath from last year, but there's an absolute want in the girls there, and you can see that. And even with the amount of substitutions coming on, it's making very no difference. It's actually improving the quality then as well, with girls coming on fresh legs. So it's just a super performance from Dublin.
Lindsay Davies gone off, replaced by number 25 Jodie Egan from Fox Rock Cavan Teely. I think that means Fox Rock now have 3 players on the pitch. That's Niamh Collins, Sinead Goldrick and Jodie Egan. May have missed one, haven't I? I think that's about it. And again the pressure on the kick out, and that's why Tyrrell had the chance a minute ago, and serious pressure again being applied, and Cavan just can't get out.
No, they're kind of
now
stuck.
Danaher is there, and Danaher is needed. Sorry, Emma.
They're just stuck at their own 21.
Mind you, the Gale Force win doesn't help.
Absolutely not.
Lauren McGee nips in there and wins, and the ball spills, and a few players spill as well. Serious battling for the ball, but Cavan managed to relieve the pressure a little bit. 4-12 plays 1-4. Comprehensive, I think, is the word that comes to mind for Dublin.
Very much so. Just energy levels again. Just tracking back, pressure on the ball, forcing Cavan to play the ball.
I'm just remembering I spoke to Martha Byrne after Dublin beat Waterford down in Waterford at the start of the league, and I said, well, what about this year? And she said, we want to win everything. They wanted to win the league, they wanted to win Leinster, they wanted to win the All-Ireland, they wanted to clear the decks. Now, it didn't work out in the league, but maybe they needed that as well to sort of re-energise themselves, and now in the middle of the summer they are putting down a marker, and at the minute on this performance it'd be hard to see anybody beating them, and I know that's unfair to Meath, but at the same time Dublin seem to have really raised their game, and also with the likes of Cork and Galway, they would be seen to be the top teams, and maybe throw Donegal in there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, it's like you can't really look past Dublin or Meath, but it is a really invigorated championship there as well, and with the season condensed the way it is, there could be a shock or two along the way.
I just feel that nobody's mentioning Cork. And they were very quiet early in the season. The Mourne Abbey girls were playing in the All-Ireland, and Shane came in and he didn't really lay down any big markers at the start. They didn't do that great in the league, but it looked like they weren't terribly bothered either, and you can't write them off. I mean, they have such fantastic players there, and we saw a few of them coming through in the O'Connor Cup and that, but I just think that they're waiting in the wings there, and
Yeah, they're a team, and they're not really, they're past transition, but there's a lot of new players that have come in there as well. So, I mean, right Cork off at your barrel.
Carla Rowe fancies that one, but it's just gone to the left and it has gone wide. Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting next couple of months, there's no doubt about that, and we'll see what Meath can do. And it's almost like Meath need to go back to the drawing board a little bit and see, right, okay, Dublin have upped their game, what do we do?
Yeah, no, 100%. And Meath have brought that kind of physicality to the game and development in the game as well, and that's really coming through as well.
Do you think Dublin are playing like Meath, or have they sort of found a different way of playing? Or
I think it's a different way of playing. I think it's a different way of using their own using their own skills and talents, and the class that they have within the squad as well. So no, I think it's a different brand of Dublin football.
I thought it was very interesting in the Dublin Meath game in Croke Park that Dublin, when they were on the attack, anytime they looked like going into a situation where they might lose the ball, hold on, I'll break off here because there's a chance of a goal on another lovely finish, and it's Nicole Owens again, side foot to the net, and that's a beautiful finish and well made as well, and they've so much time on the ball, but they're like a Rolls Royce out there now.
Yeah, that's an excellent finish from Nicole Owens, cool as you like, literally side foot the ball into the net. It's a great finish.
Just to finish that point, anytime they were going into traffic, it was like they learned from previous games against me that if you get caught in there, they'll just get the ball off you. But they were very quick to give the ball back out every time. It's as if they were told, like, don't get caught in possession. That's what you've got to do with Meath. You've got to move the ball back out and recycle it quickly. That's how you get round Meath. Yeah,
Meath have excellent hands in defence, so they were avoiding that kind of contact, bringing the ball into contact, and it was their own fast hands that that won that match for them, and you could see that with the by the end of the game. But it takes a lot of energy to do that as well, so there's a huge level of fitness involved in playing that type of football.
Oh, that's a brilliant ball by Heatherton and brilliantly taken by Tyrrell. Great athleticism, great catch, great finish. Dublin really are purring at this stage. But yeah, just to re-emphasise that, you've mentioned fitness quite a lot today. This Dublin team, you can't do all that if you don't have supreme fitness. They must have worked hard.
Yeah, no, they have, and you can see in their development and in the squad rotation, and anybody that's come in is adding to the game as well. Seeing Niamh Heatherton there, she's been involved in probably the last 4 or 5 scores, 2 brilliant balls over the top, and another excellent athlete.
And Jennifer Dunn isn't even here today.
Yeah, Jennifer's an example of the modern day footballer. She's fast and powerful and efficient in everything she does, and would have thought that Dublin would have missed her here today, and they will need her going forward in the championship, but she's not involved today.
Cavan haven't been out of their own half for quite a while. They are now. That's a good ball actually, and it's gone all the way up to Ali Cahill or Cahill. This is McVitie looking for Sinead Green, but it's going to evade her, and then instead it's going to Sheridan. This is good play by Cavan. Oh, and Lauren McGee comes in with a tackle, and that's actually injured the Cavan player, but the referee's going to bring it back for an earlier infringement. But yes, Cavan getting out of their own half and managing to get a free. But again, a last-ditch desperate tackle by Dublin players, even when they are so far ahead, and they are a long way ahead. They're 20 points ahead, but they're still diving in there. The competition for places is crazy. Yeah,
super near hand tackle there from Laura McGee. She won the ball cleanly, and
yeah, it's not a free. Sorry,
it's just a Dublin ball out.
It's a Dublin ball out. Yeah, absolutely. Just looking off camera here, yeah, we got 25. Jodie Egan, I'm just seeing if there's any more subs that have been put in that I didn't spot there. I'll let you spot them, but they give it back to Trent. This Dublin defence have done so well today, and I know it's not just a 6 defender job with a goalkeeper. I mean, it's a whole team effort. We saw Sinead Ahern back there, we saw Sullivan back there, we saw Tyrrell getting back quite a lot as well to defend. and that's why they've only conceded today 1-4. And you know what they conceded against Meath and Croke Park? 1-5.
Yeah, they're managing to keep score lines down from opposing teams, which is really crucial.
I have to say to you though, the penalty that Dublin got in Croke Park, I only got looking at it last night. What did you think? Was it a penalty?
I think it was just thereabouts. You could see why it was awarded.
Yeah.
You're not going to.
Well, it looked like the foot came in from O'Shaughnessy, but it looked like the forwards players sort of, her foot went across and hit the other player's foot. But yeah. Anyway. Back here today, there's a chance for Cavan, desperately defended, and Dublin don't want to concede another goal. They do want to incur the wrath of Mick there, saying, yeah, that was brilliant, it won't be 25 points, but what about those goals? They've let in one, they don't want to let in a second. So Dublin on the break. Off camera I see Jodie Egan moving, trying to get some space, but that's denied her, so Owens keeps possession and instead gives it to McGee, and there's a long ball into the forwards towards Egan now, but the goalkeeper Walsh comes out really well. Might have been looking for a decision there, didn't get it. They play on. 5-13 plays 1-4.
Yeah, it was a brilliant diagonal run there from Carla Rowe, and Hannah Tyrrell hanging out here on the sideline as well, and just dragging the Cavan players out, just trying to create space for Carla Rowe to run in behind there.
They've obviously done a lot of homework and a lot of strategic planning this year, Dublin, to see what they can do differently from last year. And it might have looked in the league that they weren't coming up with something different, but it does look like it now. And but when you come down to it, never mind all the strategies, it's just this serious appetite. It's this serious pressure of just fighting to win every single ball.
Yeah, it's two Dublin players in after the ball the whole time. It's not just one player, going in and giving a hand in defence. It's two.
Now, Cavan with McCormick, turned over by Goldrick. And there's a young girl there, McCormick, trying to come into the play, and she's turned over by a girl who won an All-Star 10 years ago and is still playing as well as ever. And Heatherton now puts it up in the sky, puts it over the bar, and that is Goldrick's point. Or is it a point? Yeah, it is eventually, yeah. But again, how many turnovers has she done today?
I don't know. If we went back and actually had a look, I think Sinead Goldrick must have about 8, 9, 10 turnovers. It was just, and they're all kind of in the same part of the park as well, in and around midfield, quick transitions, and a great point from Niamh Heatherton.
Do you think Eamon Murray upset her?
Possibly, yeah.
That's a yes. Although, to be fair, I did speak to him and he said he didn't mean it, and he thought he was misquoted, or he didn't think he was being quoted at the time. He thought it was off the record. He was caught out a little bit, so he was actually disappointed with that. But whatever the case, Sinead Goldrick is playing as well as ever, if not better than ever, and she's come back stronger, and she is certainly showing that there's a lot left in the tank there, and I don't think she'll be going to Australia anytime soon.
No, I think she's here and playing for Dublin today, and she'll see out the season. And she's been named in the Melbourne squad for next year, which is fantastic. And they've obviously got a nice club arrangement there where she can play the championship here and still go back and be part of the Melbourne squad for pre-season.
Now, one of the Dublin players, Niamh Heatherton, been spoken to by the referee, and in fact he's got the book out and he's taken a few details, and this could be a yellow card for that challenge on Sinead Green. And indeed, Heatherton sent to the sin bin, and that says something about Dublin, leading 5-14 to 1-4. That's 29 to 7. That's 22 points ahead. She's only come on the field about 5 or 6 minutes, and she's thrown herself into challenges and getting sin binned because of that. Yeah,
it was slightly across the shoulder. It was a high tackle, and she just pulled the player to the ground slightly, so yellow card.
Cavan number 2, Kate McIntyre, has been replaced. 24 is on for Cavan, and that is Ruth Smith. So Dublin down to 14 players. That's Gilsonan looking for the number 21 Geraldine Sheridan, and there might be a chance here for Cavan, and Sinead Green is all the way up there, and she's fouled by Lauren McGee, and that's a penalty. It's going to be a penalty for Cavan. Near the end of this game, they have a chance to get a second goal Dublin not happy at all with that decision. McGee does get back there and blocks a lot of efforts coming through. She spots the danger and goes in there, and she's going to question that with a referee, but he's certainly not going to change it. And or maybe actually he's asked for a word with her, and she's been ticked at least once, maybe twice in this game. And she had a brilliant tackle a couple of minutes ago, and I thought it was maybe a foul, but actually it was a brilliant tackle. But this time maybe she's just mistimed that one. And could Dublin be down to 13? They are down to 13 players. And
third take for Lauren.
Checking the colour of it there. Sometimes you think in the light, is that a yellow or is that, he's not giving a red, but it's not a red, it's a yellow for Lauren McGee. And in the space of about a minute or two, Dublin have gone down to 13 players, and Cavan have a penalty. Lauren McVeety scored a penalty against Donegal. The keeper's right, low in the corner. Will she go that side again? So that would be down low to Ciara Trant's right. Was Ciara watching the Ulster semi-final? She goes the same side but puts it high, and it wouldn't have mattered if Ciara Trant had went the right way. There was no stopping that one. Great penalty by McVeety, brings it back to 5-14 to 2-4.
Yeah, and Dublin now will have to reorganise down to 13 players for the next 10 minutes, so it'll take a little bit of reorganisation from them.
Do you think they're going to collapse here and lose this game?
No, I don't. I can't really see that. But just maybe a bit of reorganisation. You saw when Niamh Heatherton got the first yellow card that there was reorganisation in midfield. So it's obviously scenarios that they've prepared for as well.
Well, Cavan now have the two extra players. They're playing one of them as a sweeper, and I'm thinking to myself, do they really need a sweeper in there at this point? They're 19 points down near the end of the game, and they've got an extra player, and the other player is Sinead Green out here around the middle. So it's not like they're pressing up with the two players. They're still keeping that shape. And here, what would I know? There's the rain. The rain coming in. Clanwara, we've been hoping we could avoid it all day. It's now coming in as heavy as it's been all day, and it's coming from right to left, and it's behind Dublin's backs. I just hope it goes away quickly, but it's here at the minute. And Cavan building up a little bit of a storm as well. They've got it back to 5-14 to 2-4. So conditions getting very difficult, very, very blustery, and now the rain as well. But it's a free for Dublin and chance for Hannah Tyrrell just to slow things down. And Dublin's 13 players still persisting and still managing to get up the field. Nasty rain that is. It's cold and it's coming with a wind as well. It's a tricky one. Tyrrell might just get this over, you know. Her kicking has been exquisite today. Puts that up in the air. Is that over? It is, you know. That's brilliant. Brilliant. Oh no, it's gone wide. I thought it had gone over the bar. It was certainly very, very close. Remains 5-14 to 2-4. Now the referee is in there as if he's going to call an end to the game, actually, and indeed he does. And I think everyone's quite thankful for that, especially the Cavan defence, but a lot of the supporters here as well. It's got nasty with the weather in the last few minutes, and the young girls want to go on and meet their heroes, but it's just turned a little bit in the last 5 minutes or so from sunshine to showers. How would you sum up that game, Emma?
Look, Dublin had a game plan and they stuck to it, and they were fast and played fast football, and Cavan just couldn't keep with them. You know, they were breaking out at speed, but the defence from Dublin overall was just, you know, phenomenal. They just the hand in consistently was brilliant. Getting the quick turnovers and transitioning really, really quickly.
A few lovely shots out there of a few girls going to Hannah Tyrrell. And I'm also looking to see where Carla Rowe is, because this is her local club. And where is she? She's over. Oh, of course, she's over to the left getting photographs taken here on the 21. She's coming away from them now and just shaking hands with a few of the other players. But I think a few of the young Dublin supporters and Clanwara girls will be looking for her. And indeed they are. And I think that's a little boy as well wanting to get in there.
Absolutely, no, it's great to see. And even with the rain, they've all run over. Carla might be there for a while taking some photographs and doing the autographs. It's great to see.
Well, I think somebody wanted a football sign there as well, but it's lovely to see that, and she has certainly enjoyed her day. It's been a perfect day for her. 2 goals and 3 or 4 points as well, and a big win for Dublin, 5-14 to 2-4. And yeah, that's where the big crowd is now. They're all around her.